It's a recipe for chocolate chips cookies. Sounds yummy. But oh no, all the units are in moles. It gives me some conversion tables, but I'm going to have to figure out how to convert all these moles to grams. What do I do?
Don't worry, it's not that difficult.
Really?
Yeah, all you need is a periodic table and a calculator.
I'll go find a periodic table.
I've got the calculator.
I found a periodic table.
Here's the calculator.
Okay, so what do we do now?
So first, you need to find the molar mass, okay? So
Okay.
why don't you write down what I tell you to do.
Okay.
To find the molar mass, you need to add all of the molar masses of each of the components that make up the molecule of flour. So flour, the chemical formula, is C4H8O4. Do you see
Okay.
that? Which means there are 4 carbon, 8 hydrogen, and 4 oxygen.
That makes sense.
So, you find carbon on the periodic table, which is right here, 12.01.
Okay.
And you multiply that by 4.
All right.
And then you have hydrogen, and you need 8 of those. Hydrogen is 1.008, so you multiply that by 8.
All right.
And then oxygen is 16, so you multiply that by 4.
All right.
And you add all 3 components together, and you get your molar mass, which you find to be 120.1 grams per mole.
Okay, that makes sense. What do I do next?
Then, you simply have to convert from moles to grams.
All right.
So, you have 2.66 moles of flour.
All right.
And you know your molar mass, which is in grams per mole. And you want your moles to cancel out, right? Because you don't want to have squared units. That would be weird. So, you put grams over moles, so then your moles cancel out. And you're left with just grams. And the amount of grams you have is 319 grams.
That makes sense too. So what do I do next?
Then, you have to convert from grams into a more comfortable unit. So, on your conversion chart, it says you have 1 cup of flour is equivalent to 141.95 grams of flour.
141?
Yeah, 141.95. And make sure to put cups on the top and grams on the bottom when you multiply that by 319, so that the grams will cancel out and you're just left with cups. You're
I
left
got
with
2 1/4 cups of flour.
Okay.
All right. So now I have to figure out how much baking soda I need.
Okay. Well, what's the chemical formula of baking soda?
NaHCO3.
So first you find Na on the periodic table, and its formula, molar mass, is 22.99 grams per mole. Then you do the same with hydrogen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we had last time, 1.008. You do the same thing with carbon, it's 12, and you add 12.01.
All right.
So now oxygen, on the other hand, you have 3 of those. So you have to make sure you multiply 16, which is the molar mass of 1 oxygen, times 3. You add that all together, and you get 84.01 grams per mole.
Okay, I get how to do that.
So then the next step is like we did before. You have to convert from moles into grams, or from moles into grams. So you have your molar mass in grams per mole, and you have your moles. So you would multiply your moles, amount in moles, times grams over moles in the molar mass. Making sure to plot grams over moles on your ratio. So that moles cancel out and you're just left with grams.
All right, that makes sense. I did it and got 2.81 grams.
Okay, very good. Now next, you have your grams, right? And you have to go back to your conversion chart and see how many grams is equivalent to some more common baking measurement. So you have 1 teaspoon of baking soda is equivalent to 2.84 grams of baking soda. So you would plot 1 teaspoon of baking soda over 2.84 grams, and then multiply that by 2.81 grams of baking soda to make sure that the grams would cancel out and you're just left with teaspoons. And when you type that in, you get a decimal, but obviously you can't find a decimal of a teaspoon. So you would just approximate, and since you were very close to 1, you would just say 1 teaspoon.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I'm getting the hang of this now. So I can do it for salt. So
Okay.
The formula for salt is NaCl. So I need to do 1 times the molar mass of Na, which we used last time, which is 22.99 grams per mole, plus 1 times the molar mass of chlorine, which when we look at our periodic table is 35.45. And that comes out to be a molar mass of 58.44 grams per mole. Alright, so the next part is that part where I have to cancel out the grams, right?
Yeah.
Or, I mean the moles. Wow.
I know what you meant.
Okay, so I need 0.036 moles of salt, and I put that over 1, times my molar mass with 58.44 grams over 1 mole.
Very good.
So the moles cancel out, so I find out that I need 2.1 grams of salt.
Very good.
So then I go back to my conversion table and I find out that there's 4.16 grams in 1 teaspoon. So I do 2.1 grams over 1 times 1 teaspoon over 4.16 grams. And I find out that I need 0.50 teaspoons of salt, or half a teaspoon. Wow, I'm really starting to get the hang of this.
Why did you do one more?
Okay, so next I have butter. And the formula for butter is C9H14O6. So that means I need to do 9 times the molar mass of carbon, which is 12.01, plus 14 times the molar mass of hydrogen, which is 1.008, plus 6 times the molar mass of oxygen, which is 16.
Very good.
And that comes out to be a molar mass of 219 grams per mole. Alright, so now I need to cancel out moles to find out how many grams I need. So my recipe tells me I need 1.084 moles of butter. So I put that over 1 and multiply it by my molar mass of 219 grams over 1 mole. That means I get 236.5 grams.
Yes.
Okay, so now I need to convert that to cups. And it tells me that 1 cup of butter is 236.59 grams. So if I multiply how much I need, 236.5 grams over 1 times 1 cup over 236.59 grams.
So this way the grams cancel out.
Exactly. And I'm left with about 1 cup of butter. Wow, I think I really get this. I guess I'm going to have to just do that for the rest of the ingredients, and then I'll have my recipe.
There you go.
This will be done in a snap. Okay, I figured out how much I need for the rest of my ingredients. So I need 0.75 cups, or 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I need also 0.75 cups, or 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. I need 2 eggs. I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And I need 12 ounces of chocolate chips. Wow, it sounds like we're going to be making some yummy cookies. Thanks a lot.
No problem.